Tug, what do you think about all this mess about cancel culture, how they're treating Nick, fake ass snakes who aren't even really Nick's friends who abandoned him?
Man, that's I'm seeing some names right now. I was like, what the fuck's going on with these people? Because they're not just fake ass snakes that are attacking him. They're people who owe him. He made them, and for them to fucking be like, oh yeah, well, he called me names or something. Fuck you guys, man. That is so plastic and so fake. It's not surprising though, man. We see it all the time. I mean, we see it all the time. And Nick, yeah, is Nick edgy? Something it doesn't matter. I see people say that. Oh well, he's a little too edgy. It doesn't matter, dude. I tell dad jokes, and you know what? They came for me. They'll come for you too. So fuck yourself. Oh god, it makes me mad though. The Nick stuff I saw. Nick's good people. He's built up a lot of folks. Myself included, man. When I've had problems, he never brags about helping people. That's
Yeah.
one thing.
That's it. So Tug, you know what I find funny? In the same way that Nick doesn't brag about like, doing stuff for people, blah, blah, blah. The flip side is also true of his both his detractors and his fake friends. They're quick to use Nick to be like, and I'm with Nick Rekieta, whereas Nick will be helping people and say nothing,
Yep.
behind the scenes, right? Like, he gave me some equipment and stuff. He just does. Like, oh yeah, Drex, I upgraded myself. So every time you see Nick upgrade equipment, that means he gave me whatever was the prior equipment. Because he knows I don't know about how to use any of this shit. God damn it, Nick. Look, they call Nick a boomer. Tug, you don't even want to know how bad I am. And Nick is like, oh yeah, man, here you go. And so, Tug, what do you think about the fact that when it comes to these kind of situations, what do you think stings more? Seeing who is in your corner or seeing who's not in your corner?
It depends on what you thought about that person that's not in your corner. I learned that early on. Like
Mhm.
people that you help out, that you make money, it doesn't matter, man. It doesn't matter at all. People will fuck you over and they'll fuck you over quickly. But it's good if you focus on who's in your corner. That's the best way for yourself. I mean, for Nick, again, Nick would never take credit for shit. But forget like smaller deeds, man. He when we had problems with CPS, people who don't understand the reason he's never like show me receipts for CPS is because he knows it's real. He's been there. He helped me hook
Mhm.
up a lawyer for it. He answered my questions about going on with and I mean, I owe him for shit like that. Every time I've needed something, though, whether it's been a strike or, again, people aiming at me in real life, wanting to take my family away, that dude has had my
Mhm.
back. And people who won't have his back, man, fuck them. I don't want anything to do with them, just honestly. So I'd love again. I usually don't get into drama there, but this isn't drama, man. I mean, all of us are in the same situation.
Yep.
All of us, they're going to come
But
for every
Tug,
one of
that's
us.
the thing. They're gonna come for every look. This
Yep.
TFM. This is no lie. TFM talked about this like in the so-called manosphere space, right? And he was telling guys, he goes, dude, it doesn't matter about me. He goes, they're gonna come after everybody. And do you know what guys did, Tug? I remember seeing this. There were guys who said, no, no, TFM, you're the extreme one. I'm gonna make this kind of content within their little guidelines, and they'll never come after me, right? I'm still monetized. Hey, Tug, you already know how that happened, how that worked out, right?
Yep.
Eventually, what happened? They came after him, right?
Yep.
And they're like, oh my God, TFM was right. It's like, of course he was right. Like, dude, are you a beta cuck mangina? If you say no, they're like, yeah, they're gonna come after you. It doesn't matter. Like, Tug, I've seen your videos, right? I've been on your channel for years now, right? And when you talk about like, that umbrella girl and stuff, and you talk about comics, you talked about JD well before a lot of other people did, right? You covered the case in the UK. And I remember as I'm listening, I'm like, I'm cool with the way that Tug is speaking, the way he's coming at these topics. Same with the Yellow Flash, but I know how this works, right? I'm like, they're gonna come
Hmm.
after this guy.
Yep.
I knew they were gonna come after you because like you weren't saying believe all women. You see what I'm saying?
Hmm.
So I
Yep.
knew they were coming after you, Tug.
Oh yeah, I mean they come after every one of us. Again, Nick is vocal. One of the things that people need to understand about that too, people who don't have his back, the loudest person in the room is the person they want to take out. But once they take them out, they just keep working down the ladder.
Yep.
That's their
Mhm.
culture. I mean, it is. We nicknamed it cancel culture, but really this is a reflection of who they are. They are nothing without destroying other people.
Yeah, yeah. What was the thing? Yeah, they. That's why. Have you noticed? I'm sure you saw those DMs from Lucas, right? Like bragging. It was who was that other? Wait, there's There's a bitch I didn't roast tonight. Taylor Lorenz.
Oh God.
Yeah, that.
piece of
You know
work.
what? Oh wait, is it past 2 hours? Yeah, that's CUNT. Taylor Lorenz, right? Tug, who celebrates someone getting their channel taken down? Like, what kind of person does that? And then I'm assuming they're reading now that he's back, right? Like, YouTube
Most
needs to
of them are
do
just
better.
ignoring it. Most of them are just ignoring
Oh
it.
yeah. Now because now it can't gloat, right? If you gloat, Tug, if I'm a hater and I say, yeah, I got Nick and Tug taken down, and then 2 days later someone goes, yeah, their channels are back up. See, Tug, do you notice I don't make a video saying, yeah, right? Or this sucks that you're back. I just stay silent, right? Because I have nothing to gloat about. Because you're right, Tug. Their only self-esteem comes from tearing down other people because they're miserable. These people hate their lives, like Crest said. They hate every day that they wake up. They hate the people in their life and themselves most of all.
Well, they also, I mean, hey, they're still plotting behind the scenes. We know how they are too. Yeah, just because they're silent in the front, they know like we'll mock them as well, and they can't. Like you said, they're fragile, very fragile.
They're so fragile. Well, Tug, what do you think about that? The same people that claim to be stunning and brave, they're so strong, right? They look. Shout out to Yellow Flash. Yellow Flash and also Ryan Cannell were making videos about that Bros movie, right? That disaster. And Billy Eichner was quick to try to use all of his hate because he's just a hater, right? But as soon as people try to call him out, what did he do? Oh, I deleted all the comment sections, right? No one's allowed to make any comments about me. I'll just make it. Tug, false flags, bashing people, with all the everything that these people do is revolved around hate, right? And it all starts about hate of themselves. Would you agree with that? Like,
Yeah,
it's a projection, right? Like, Tug, I hate myself. Now I'm gonna go out in the world. Well, every situation I go, because Tug, do you realize that's the reason why they're never these are humorless people, right? Because Tug, if I hate myself, right? If you crack a joke, right? I'm believing because I'm so full of hate that like everything that you say is a diss, right? And you're like, dude, it's sarcasm. I'm just busting your balls a little bit. Hate speech. That's who these people are. Everything is hate. Fucking
They in mental health, we see people that hate themselves all of the time, and unfortunately these people, they don't want help. They figured out a way to cope with hating themselves. They never look internally. They never try to fix a problem. Instead, they take all that hatred and they reflect it on other people. They blame someone else for it, and we see that every single time one of these folks does this bullshit. Again, they've created a whole culture of it. Instead of fixing themselves, they want the world to reflect them.
You know what it is, Tug? I just saw a super chat for $5 from Eric the Red, right? It says, after Nick was restored, Boozy called for government regulation of YouTube. See, because Tug, these people don't want to take it upon themselves to either reach out to Nick or just ignore Nick, right? Or whoever, right? Whoever their person is. What they want to do instead is say, we need Big Daddy government to come in and regulate everybody. But eventually, when it turns on them, they kind of are sitting there like, this is wrong, but I'm not going to say it. See, they don't say anything when it comes on them. Yeah, how did we get here? But Tug, any last words on all this mess?
Oh man, I always take notes on who exactly stands with a person like Rekieta or any of us, because when they come for them, again, Rekieta will back them still. That's the saddest part of all this shit. He'll still have their back, even though they were
Tug,
like, fuck you.
Tug, have I told you how many times it's that part of Nick's personality that frustrates me? Because like I said, we're yin and yang, right? When Nick will say something like, because Nick has the decorum that I was born without, right? He'll say stuff like, someone that I know has said things, right, behind my back, and someone that has been on my streams before. I'm like, Nick, what is it in you that causes you to like allow people to be saying stuff? Tug, so I find out somebody's out there talking shit about me, man, I'm coming at them full force, right? I can't live with myself knowing that like I'm like inviting someone in my home that just kind of is a snake in the grass, right? Like they're like laughing at your jokes and then they turn around like they want to rub up against your wife and stuff. You're like, what the fuck? Because Tug, these people will do that, right?
Oh, yeah.
Because also they don't have a center, right? Because they don't have a center, any level of behavior is in bounds, right? Like, oh yeah, this is cool. It's
Yeah,
all
well,
good.
I mean, you know, it goes all the way back to unhappiness with self. And again, we have to be very careful excusing behavior when we say these things, you know, because
Yep.
we aren't excusing it, we're just understanding it, you know.
Correct.
Absolutely. Yep.
I
Fuck these
don't
people.
know, man.
Someone in the
It
chat-
frustrates me to no end. I mean, all these fake plastic bitches out there acting like this. I have nothing for them. You know, again, I'm pretty tamed. You know, I know who my friends are, though. I know, I see them. And again, you know, with this stuff too, I don't hang out with people. Like, people assume we're all buddies, pals, hanging out. Dude, I don't call up anybody or anything. We hang out on streams and stuff. We goof off. But when the chips are down, man, you know who your fucking friends are.
Yeah. You know, though, and that's the reason why I said, Tug, it's so shocking when something does happen. I think maybe to the people on the inside or the outside, because like they're like, hey, I seen these guys do streams and they should be cool. Yeah, about that, right? Like, yeah, you think they're cool until you realize, oh no, these people aren't cool, right? They're trying to come at you and say whatever, do whatever to benefit them. They won't even risk a small bit of them getting canceled, right? Or losing a little bit of money or a little bit of clout. They're like, oh no, I got what I got, so I'm not gonna risk and jeopardize anything. Fuck out of here, man.
It's just it is a reflection of who they were. Again, I see it all the time, and you know, don't confuse drama with that either. Everybody, you know, you may have an off day or something. If somebody doesn't like me an off day, I just laugh it off. Who gives a shit, you know?
Exactly.
But yeah, when it's down, man, we all will run into that. You have something to take away, and these people, they don't go after like a channel or whatever. They go after whatever your weakness is. Like Nick Rekieta, I see similarities because I love my family. He loves his family. He does this shit for them. That's part of it. And they see that as weakness. I see it as a strength, but it's also, you know, it's something they can hurt you with.
Oh, absolutely. They can use it as leverage, right? That's why, you know, and for those people who swatted Nick, I think someone said that Nick addressed this, but when you swat Nick, a man with 5 kids, you can wind up getting his kids fucking deleted.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
All it takes is, think about this, Tug. What if Nick's oldest boy gets up to answer the door because he happens to like, oh, I need to go get some water, right? Goes up, let's say for whatever reason, because he's a kid, he has like a fidget spinner in his hand, right? All it takes is one crazy person as a thug with a badge to think it's a gun and then open fire, right? Tug, you remember what happened with the Tyler Barris thing, right? Remember that?
Yeah.
It was the wrong guy, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Wasn't even the right guy. Like, people think this can't happen. You can get deleted at any time by having these weirdos. Yeah, swatting, dude. Tug, you swat somebody, like the fact that people don't take any, I don't know when it became a thing where nothing is that serious, people, when it is serious, right? Text censorship is a serious thing. Swatting is serious. People kind of like, well, yeah, I mean, it just is what it is. So because no one has a stance on any fucking thing.
Dude, we had people upload fake calls to the police about us. I mean, they use our name and they upload them on YouTube. We know who they are. And you know what the cops are like? Who gives a shit, basically? Who gives a shit? Who gives a shit if they're calling an FBI? Because they don't want to delete your channel. They want to delete you. You have an opinion that they don't like. They want to fucking kill you, and they want to kill everyone around you. That is legit. That is 100% true. No conspiracy to it. You can tell it through the actions. We laugh it off. We make jokes about it, but the reality is these people want you dead.
Hey, Drex, is it okay if I pull Ken Jennings in here?
Oh, go ahead. And Tug, I'll leave you with this. To that point, these are always people that always scream about how everyone has to be more tolerant, right? Like Frost Urine, right? Mm-hmm. She's on G4 talking crazy. The same people who say we need to be more tolerant and nicer are always the meanest, most, horrible people. They're horrible.
They're the people that have the most degenerate shit that they want forced on everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
you had a question for Tug?
Oh, I was gonna say hi, Tug. I've been meaning to touch base with you for a while.
What's up, kid?
Or find a good way to get in touch with you. I don't know if you know who I am.
Twitter.
Yeah, you can hit me up with email. I have an email through my my channel actually.
Okay,
I'll
I'll send you one that way then.
you know.
But
Yeah, Ken's a fellow streamer, friend of the show. He comes in and always talks about like therapy, the entire psych field, pretty
Mhm.
much.
yeah, I love
Yeah,
that
yeah, I
stuff.
know who you are though. I know you from the Vic stuff.
Okay, so I wasn't sure if my name. I'm not. I don't think I'm that popular, nor would I ever presume to be.
No, I know you from the
So,
Vic stuff. I remember it
okay.
all. Yeah.
So, well, it's good that I have a little name recognition. But yeah, I was hoping to touch base with you. I think I have a few cool ideas we could do for streams if you're up for it or something like that.
All right, yeah, hit me up, dude. You know.
But yeah, so I was just here to say that Drexel is so much against Alita and is totally being misogynistic, and the guy, what's his name, Hogue Law, you just don't understand. You're being racist against the whites, Drexel, and that we just can't stand for this. But no, I agree with you guys. It's bullshit seeing Nick kind of lose effectively for a short period of time his main source of income, to then get it back, and then now there's the question of whether or not do you continue using that as a source of income. People running, oh, it's great, look what look what a private company could do. We can censor all these people, and seeing people on Twitter posting things like, if we can't have these safe environments for minorities or for different communities, then I'm like, that's not free speech. Like,
Yep.
Yeah.
you have no idea what free speech is, and
Mhm.
there's so much wrong with that's how it normally is.
Well,
If
you know
they
what it
all-
is though, Ken. They want free speech for themselves. Like they actually do want free speech, right? But only for them.
themselves.
That's why. Like Tug, these are the kind of creeps, and Ken knows this. The same narcissistic creeps that are like, oh, I'm all about free speech. They because they are so solipsistic, they only view themselves as the world. So like they're actually telling the truth when they say, I believe in free speech and I want free. They're actually people think these people are trolling. They're not. They truly believe what they're saying. So they're like, no. I do believe in free speech for me. But when
Yeah,
you
they
say
would
something I
pass a
don't
lie
like,
detector.
that's hate speech.
They would pass a lie detector, hook them up to a lie detector, and
Yep.
they'd be telling the truth the whole time.
Oh yeah. I guarantee you.
I'm all for free speech, but I don't allow violence.
Yeah, oh, Jesus. Yeah, that shit.
Anyways.
It's like you're for free speech or you're not. Like, you have to agree that the people are going to say things, because free speech protections are not, and don't give me that First Amendment argument. Free speech isn't about the First Amendment. Free speech is a principle dating back many centuries that has nothing to do with the 200-year-old Constitution of the United States. Free speech is about the ability to say things and not have negative consequences for them. Don't give me that, you can say what you want, but consequences, that's not what free speech is. That's the exact antithesis of it. You should be able to speak your mind and not end up losing your income, not end up losing your job, not end up losing any kind of platform.
Yeah, I have a
if you
problem
don't
with people
like-
going after people's money, man. And I think that's what Tug was getting at. Like, I have a serious issue with people trying to come after someone because, like, Tug, you know how this works, right?
Yeah.
Men, the only income that men make is what they make. Men don't have like 9 sources of income. Like a woman can be like this. Oh, I got the government. I got simps. I got foot pics on OnlyFans. Race denier Rachel Dolezal has a damn OnlyFans. Men don't get to have an OnlyFans, right? They don't get, like, there's not a bunch of sugar mamas that are going to take care of you, right? Like we're not going to cosplay and have a bunch of women sending us money, right? They can do that. So that's why, if you notice, the people who push cancel culture the most, beta males, which are females in male bodies, and females, right? They're the ones who push it because, like, they're like, well, hey, I mean, someone's going to take care of me. Men know that no one is there to take care of them, right? There's nobody. So when you come after someone like Nick, you say, I don't believe Nick should even be allowed to make money on whatever. And then you go, but I'm also going to, put in these ethics complaints to take away his ability to be a lawyer, period. It's like, so what about his family? Fuck his family. I'll just swat him. Like I said, that's why swatting to me in some ways is worse than like everything else, because it's like you're putting the whole family at risk.
You're
right?
putting innocent people at risk. Yeah.
Yeah, innocent. Like, you may hate Nick. Okay, yeah, cool. You hate Nick. You know Nick does not live alone. He has a wife and 5 kids. And you would send SWAT to the house?
Not only
But
do you
it's
put
like-
Nick and his kids at risk, and his wife, you also put the police officers, the sheriff's department, the SWAT team, because God forbid that Nick, in the middle of the night, SWAT team shows up. He doesn't know he's being spotted. He hears
Yep.
people entering his house. He could shoot or kill any one of those
Correct,
officers.
correct. Yep.
Go stand trial for it. even
And
though-
regardless of what people may think about Nick or whatever else, regardless of that, they know that his family is innocent. They know that his wife and kids have nothing to do with it. So it's like they're willingly putting innocent people at risk, like regardless if they think they're justified about swatting Nick. But it's just like it's just this despicable thing that people, like, once they don't get, like, these individuals, once they don't get what they want through legal means, they will do anything. They will literally dip into illegal things, into criminal activity to get what they want.
Yeah.
There's no line for them.
Well, they're
Thank
already
you very
targeting
much.
his family, though. I mean, you know what? He's like for me, I'm a sole provider in my family. You know, I am our money. So when they target my money, they target my kids anyway. You know,
Ridiculous.
like every action. That again, it's all about what they perceive as the best way to hurt you, what they see as your weakness. Again, what we would probably call a strength, they see as, well, there's something, because you know Nick is fucking steel when he's out there. You can call him anything you want. He's not going to budge. He's not going to flinch.
Yep.
So they find something else that they think will harm him.
It
Yeah, because
pisses
it's
them
like
off
they
too
want
that he
that.
can't be touched. Like, it pisses them off so bad that Nick does not care, and Nick can laugh it off, because Nick, even losing YouTube, is still in a financially stable situation where he could lose YouTube permanently and still be okay because people will support him,
Absolutely.
and he could still laugh at the people who are fucking with them, still be pissed at them, but still not care what they have to say, because, for the lack of a better way to say it, they're retarded for their way they're handling the situation. And like Crumb was saying earlier, that people like Keffels are the antithesis of what actually should be a representation of the trans community,
Yes.
who are people out there ruining the images of the trans community and LGBT and taking it to the furthest extremes, who are your political extremists that are visible, that make up the fraction of the percent of what the rest of the community is. And so when people bitch about reductions of LGBT rights in the country or on the planet, you have people like Keffels to blame for that. And so if
Absolutely.
anyone's to blame, they need to look in a fucking mirror before they start putting it on people like Nick. Nick making jokes and saying fag occasionally or saying other words occasionally is not what is hurting the trans community. It's people like Keffels. It's people like Duncan who support people like Keffels. Those are the true people hurting it. Those are the true people who don't really give a shit, and that their political ideology is all that matters. So
All right. Thanks, Ken, for calling in. Shill your channel, please.
you can find me on Ken's Counseling Couch on YouTube. I still need more people to subscribe to me on Rumble, to stream on Rumble, and I'm also on Odyssey as well. So, and my OnlyFans, if they'll ever verify me, will be Ken's Casting Couch. So, but they won't verify me. I've tried multiple times to be verified, so I can
I don't know, maybe
post.
Maybe Tug's tits can get verified on OnlyFans.
Oh God.
Oh man,
I just
Is that
want to
question mark
post the
now?
big black couches, and they won't let me post the BBC. So
Oh God. it's
that's all I was
horrible,
gonna
man.
do. That's all I was gonna do with my my OnlyFans, but it's kind of sad. So, but thanks for having me up, guys.
All right, thanks
Put
for
a
coming
link
on,
in the
Ken.
chat.
Tug,
You're
thanks for
welcome.
coming on also.
yeah, bro.
Yeah, let me post that in my chat. So,
Yeah.
take care, guys.
Man.
Thanks
I just
both
say,
of you guys.
yeah, man. You know, I'm glad that you stand up for Nick like this shit, because everybody, again, when it's down, man, you've had my back too, man. I appreciate you.
Yeah, Tug, I just it bothers me when I see people that claim friendship, and then when the going gets tough, it's all this weird shit. Like, I was waiting to see what was gonna. What are you waiting to see what's gonna happen? Like, fuck out of here, man.
well,
Tug, I
yeah,
was
in
waiting
the
for
moment.
some more facts to come in, and
I saw how Nick reacted, like when he was banned, and you could see, you know, again, Nick doesn't talk about, you know, impact. Actually, he did a little bit on locals, you know, how this was impacting, but you could see it. You could see the stress. You could see all of that. And especially, you could see it right when it happened, because, you know, it was usually you don't see people when they get yeeted. You don't see their reaction.
correct.
Yeah, but we saw it with him, and I mean, the silence. Nick's never quiet, and yet he was silent for long periods of time. His face said everything. And then afterwards, when he was talking about that too, I mean, it's just, man, it's unreal that we live in this shit. Working with dangerous people as far as mental health is concerned, people that are so unattached to reality, like schizophrenics and on, that they could be dangerous. It's a lot better than working with fucking the internet these days. Honestly.
I agree. I mean, Tug, in some ways, there's almost a normalcy to them, right? Compared to the internet. I mean, Tug, at least kind of at least generally where you stand here on these platforms, right? The rules literally change in real time, right? You're like, wait a minute, I was within the rules. Like, oh yeah, well, we changed that rule when you just didn't know about it. We just changed it right now. You're like, so what's the point of having rules if you just keep changing them, right? Like, if you ask somebody what is hate speech, no one knows what that means anymore, right?
Right.
There's speech someone doesn't like. Well, who is someone? Well, it depends. You start getting into identity politics. It's all bullshit, man. But yeah, but Tug, thanks for coming on. Tug, any last words though?
No,
Shill your channel also. Everyone knows who you are, but go ahead and shill anyway.
That Umbrella Guy, you can check me out if you want to. Really though, I mean, again, I just want to focus on the fact that we all, when it comes down, doesn't matter what we cover, whether that's Disney movies or law or whatever the fuck, we all have to have each other's back. And there are rules against this shit too. These platforms, YouTubers against the other YouTubers, that's not supposed to happen. And yet, here we are. Keffals is a YouTuber. Keffals organized mass flagging, a mass takedown of another YouTuber, and it happened. So the platform should be
the rules, right?
Yeah,
that's supposed to be against the rules. And Tug, it's funny you say that, right? The power of the people, which is, you heard about that whole PayPal fiasco, right? They were going to try to take $2,500 out of your account.
Oh yeah,
they reversed that. See how that worked? See, they wanted to see, are they cooked enough yet? Damn, they're not cooked enough.
Well, when they walked it back a little bit. You notice that when they were talking about that, they also included that nebulous term hate speech. They didn't really address that. They kind of just let that slide. So they addressed it and walked part of it back, but they wanted you to forget. Again, they threw in that word with no meaning, hate speech.
That's right.
They're coming for everybody. Again,
everybody.
They took like millions from Eric July. They set on it. They intended to keep his money. They kept it, for the Canadian trucker thing. I mean, again, they've shown us, they've shown us what they're doing. And if you think that isn't a reflection of what they'll do to you, shit,
Absolutely.
Anyway. All right, man. But anyway, I'll let other people get in here. I felt like
Tug, thanks for coming on. I always say that your voice just sounds like velvet. Tug, you gotta have like a new career of just reading like audio books. Like that becomes your new thing, right? Like you just read children's books, let people go to sleep and just be like, Tug.
I don't know. I like what I do in life. I've never given up my. First of all, I don't trust YouTube anyway, because I'm afraid.
Of course, yeah. Never. That's why I tell you, never quit your day job.
Yeah, but on top of that, I actually like my day job, for real. I like being able to, we are in the advocacy realm, everybody is, whether we make it look like an entertainment, avenue like Nick's or just whatever, it's all advocacy because lunatics have moved into our spheres.
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, I'll catch you guys later.
Hey, thanks, Tug.
Yeah, man.
See you.